Well, so far the tournaments that has been going on, I don't know anything about
Right.
Japanese players. Otherwise, it looks okay so far. Wait a second, but isn't Skit a known account buyer as well? So I don't want to name names, but if I
Stop
recall
saying names,
correctly,
then you stupid.
I don't want to
No,
name
the
names
fucking,
anymore.
the fucking says the name and it's. But aloha, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. As you can see, we're running a 4-man podcast, unless Riona makes an appearance, since I believe Riona's with J-Mac there. But welcome, everybody. Appreciate you guys joining back for the podcast here again today. It's good to have you, DJ, as well as J-Mac and Lucky. Yeah, anything new or anything exciting happened for you guys lately? No?
I'm in a cabin right now. I don't know if you can tell.
I can tell. There's a little bit of like cabin-ish background noise going on. I like
You
it.
see?
Yeah.
Looks like it. Looks cool.
So I'm not actually anywhere near home right now.
Oh, I see. Are you trying to experience cabin fever firsthand?
No. So after the stressful SWC last week, I decided to take this week off
Oh,
and
okay.
just kind of. Basically, what we do is just campfire and drank for a bit, and I ran back to the cabin so I can do this one.
Oh, cool. I appreciate you taking the time to join us then, man. Sweet. All right, let's get into today's topics. We got a couple of topics to discuss, but the big hitter, the one that I guess everybody wants to hear an opinion about and wants to know about because it's going to be game changing, right? Is auto replay, auto farming, right? Is this exciting to you? Comp2S has recently released it that they've been talking about for a little while though, that they looked into it. They're going to be making something of interest different than other people. And now we got, auto replay coming out in the next update, 6.0.4. Currently we're on update 6.0.3. So next update, we should have it. What do we know about it? I'll let you guys, kind of lay it down a little bit. And what are your thoughts? We could start with Lucky if you want. Go ahead, man.
It looks like they've been watching the podcast.
I'd like to say so.
Similar to the ideas. It's similar to the ideas we've previously spoken about quite a lot. We always spoke about multiple dungeon
Give me
runs.
one second. Jeff, do you have push to talk? If you could push to talk, that'd be awesome.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
When you type, it's really loud.
Yeah, I think
It's pretty loud,
when you
yeah.
type. We type there's some background noise. That's all. Yeah. Go ahead, Lucky.
No worries. So it's something that we've been asking for a while. We've spoken about it so many times in the podcast before, and we always spoke about like wanting multiple dungeon runs over like an overnight sort of auto farm system. And it looks like they've gone across that path of giving us 10 dungeon runs. And the added effect of being able to minimize our dungeon runs and do other activities on our island, manage siege at the same time. I think you can check into arena as well, but you can't really do much more there. I think you can do RTA reruning if you wanted to. You do a lot of other aspects of the game now, than just sitting there watching our runs. But I personally feel like 10 is a bit too much.
Yeah. Okay.
When I read into it, I was like, 10's a lot. That's a lot of not really paying attention to your runs. And I think in the short term, it'd be cool. But I think in the long term, it might be a bit too much. And it might be a bit too disengaging personally.
I see. Okay. What's your thoughts on it, DJ? Go ahead.
I think 10 is a little much too. I thought it would be like 5. But you auto stop when you run out of energy, right? So naturally you do like 10 and then you'd have enough energy to do like 3 runs and then you have to refill and then run it again, right? But I don't know what the ending of the run, if there's like a place to refill energy right away.
Yeah, so we have to see the logistics, right? If there's going to be something in the UI that lets you refill energy like before. If not, like what you're saying is true. We're going to run into that issue of, having leftover energy and then doing the run and then getting stopped because we have no more energy, right? So that's definitely true. Very, very true. What's your thoughts on it, Jeff, in terms of auto replay?
Honestly, how they set it up was really surprising, where you can do other shit like powering up runes, powering up artifacts. I think that is probably the best part of it. Auto run's kind of nice. I didn't really care for it, I would say, because I do care for it, as in like I spend a lot of time powering up artifacts. That's why I care. But it's nice, I'll be honest. If you do drive and play, I'm not suggesting that people should, but I'm saying that if it happens, it is kind of nice. but don't drive and play. Obviously, the best thing you can do is like find a girlfriend and get them to do it for you. But it is what it is.
Okay, so I guess that's true. I like that point that you brought up about the powering up. I noticed that there's not a lot of players that what people talked about, like being able to play all the time, right? Some people that go to work, they're not able to play at all. So when they come home or they're on their breaks, they can play. At least now when they play and they have time to play, they don't have to go like, oh man, my time of like, let's say 3 hours of playing today. I'm going to just farm, right? I can't do anything else. Or I'm going to just do runes. Now they can farm and feel like they can do runes at the same time, right? Maximize their gameplay, which I think is really, really nice, right? And for players like Jeff, that are, competitive and want to always do everything as much as they can do farming and they can do the artifacts and stuff at the same time now. One of the biggest detriments for the SWC players, I don't know, did this kind of go through your mind, Jeff, as an SWC contestant, when you were farming, that you were like, oh, I'm not powering up my artifacts, and when you were powering up artifacts, you're like, damn, I better do this quick because I want to get back to farming so I can maximize what I get for the tournament.
Yep, especially with the 300 artifact slots that came out, which is not enough. Come to us. I'm just saying this loud and clear. It's really, really nice to ignore that.
Did someone just yeet?
It's yeet. It's a text message. My text message went off. But anyways, it's really nice because I can spend all that time powering artifacts and not waste time. It's yet to balance between the two, right? And the race to SWC was such a short time because artifacts came out less than 3 weeks prior to that. I wasted a lot of time powering up. So I actually lost sleep because of that, right? Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I power up everything, find the right artifacts, because I still have to decide between going for Punisher or the other one, right? Or Steel. And that was the most tough part. And you have to dedicate probably 2.5 hours each day minimum to powering stuff up.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very true.
I think Sunday after free rune removal, I spent like 10 hours upgrading artifacts.
Holy crap.
My guild chat was just solid my name.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, the biggest factor, I will say it again, is the people that don't always get the time to play, right, are limited. Right, some of us, I mean, we stream, or some people have desk jobs. You can farm all the day, right? So you can choose to like power up on your evenings when you're done with work, and during work you're just farming all day, right? So you don't really care about it. But there are people that are very limited in time to play, so I think it's going to be a huge change. Now let's go back into the topic of like how many, right? Why is 10 too much? What's your thoughts on it, and what did you want to see in terms of how many runs or replays, or maybe the logistical, what you think it's going to look like, the UI and how it's going to run, how it's going to function. What do you want to see from it? Could start off with Lucky, since you were the first one to bring up to say that, hey, 10 was a little much.
No worries. So if we think about like the average times for, let's say, we'll start with endgames first. Average dungeon times, if you go through Giants, Dragons, and Necro, it's probably going to be right around the 50-second to a minute mark, maybe quicker. I don't know how fast people are running at the moment, but let's just assume it's about 50 seconds to a minute. We're talking 10 minutes, right? We're talking 10 minutes worth of runs. If you're going through artifact dungeons, we're probably talking 30-second runs, 30 to 40. So we'll just say, that's going to be 5 minutes worth of attention, right? Mm-hmm. But if you talk about mid-game, late-game players, early to mid-game players, they're probably more like the 2-minute mark.
That's fair.
So their runs, their 10 things are probably going to be, 20 minutes?
Right, and this is also assuming that let me add something in there. This is assuming that it's 2 minutes a run and there's no time frame in between as well, right? Because sometimes with auto replays,
exactly right,
they got the 10 seconds and the next run will begin, and then it counts down and it begins.
Correct.
So there's all that other factor as well. So it could be 25 minutes, right? It could be 30 minutes.
It could be 25. Yeah, for sure. So imagine looking at your device for only once every 25 minutes if you didn't have anything else to do in the background. I think, as I said before, I think in the short term it'll be okay because a lot of people will be doing other exercises, like as JMac brought up before, artifact rolling, how long that takes, being able to clean up your rune storage because you may have had a lot of runes sitting there that you haven't upgraded for a while, and now gives you the opportunity to go through all that. But I think eventually we'll get to a point where it'll just be us hitting the replay button for 10 times runs and then looking at our device every 20 minutes.
Right.
I mean, you have the option to minimize to do other things, or you can just sit there and watch it run through as well. I believe from what I've seen in the UI so far, I'm assuming you can sit there and watch it based on what I've seen on it. But yeah, I think it's good. I still think it's good. I personally feel like 5 would have been fine, but I think 10. I'd rather 10 than nothing. That's the way I view it. It might be a bit too disengaging for early to mid game players, but I think for late game, I think it's at a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I think probably Com2us believes that, you know, to supplement the disengagement in terms of disengagement time, they're adding these other features that you can do while, you know, the runs are going on, and they're hoping that people are still playing while it's going on. But there is that concern of, you know, disengagement, right? Especially with, you know, players that just psychologically and marketing wise and just like just in general, it is not good to have, you know, disengagement from a game. So it's very true. What are your thoughts on it, DJ, on why you think 10 is also a little bit too much, and any other things you want to add to that?
I think for the most part, that's everything that I had concerns with too. Mostly, like end game, I think it's fine. Like 10 minutes, sub 10 minutes, clicking is fine. But like early game, when your run is like 2-3 minutes, that's a lot of disengagement from the game.
Right.
I also really wish that you could spectate RTA. I think that would be a good way to like fill that time.
Oh, does it not let you right now? It doesn't say, right?
No, you can't spectate.
Because my understanding right now, if it's true, is that the rule of thumb is that anything with a loading screen is impossible to do right now. Is that right? Is that a fair thing for when you're doing auto runs, right? You can't do a arena because it has to load in. You can't do you know, because you have to load in. So anything with without a loading screen, you can pretty much kind of do while the auto runs are going on. That's like the rule of thumb-ish that I've been hearing from people. So yeah, I think viewing RTAs would be something nice to have. Right now, they could always increase these and add more features in the future.
Hopefully, they add that.
Right. Let me ask you this, J-Mac, going off of like some of the things that we've been discussing here about, you know, 10 being too much, right? For some of the early game players, the time frame being a little bit, you know, too long and more disengagement. What about an idea of a depending on how fast you do your dungeons, like if you hit a certain time, you unlock, you know, different intervals of auto replay, right? Maybe there's an interval at like 5 and 10. I don't know, right? Depending if you can do a 2-minute run or a 1-minute run. What do you think about that?
I think they won't do that just because I feel that there's a lot more coding involved. It's a lot easier. If I recall correctly, it says that if you do wipe, it automatically stops as well, right?
True.
So for the newer players, if they do wipe a little more often, they will pay a lot more attention to it. I think they just use 10 because Skylanders use 10. I think RSL uses 10 as well, right? Mm-hmm. So they just made it like that. 10 isn't bad, it's just a round number. I think that's why they chose it. 5 is still quite quick, I think, so it does make sense, but I'm glad they didn't do over 10.
Yeah. Okay. So you gave the example of Skylanders, but what was your other example? RSL? What is RSL?
Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, right. Speaking of that, that is today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Thank you guys for sponsoring the Summoners War podcast. Yeah, thank you, Raid Shadow Legends. Use code IslandGrown and code JMac for 10 more shards and clan boss keys. Right. I'm just kidding. It's not sponsored by
DJ, did you get that? We send our details to IslandGrown after this, and he buys us those Street Fighter scrolls.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad.
No, but in terms of Raid Shadow Legends, so the way that they do auto runs is a little bit different. So they actually have a UI box that you start when you start the auto runs, right? And you only are limited to 100 runs in a day. Now that's if you have there's a limited amount. There's a 30 and there's a 100, depending if you have the pass.
You buy a raid pass, they get to 100, yeah.
Right. So one day is 30 for everybody, or 100 for people that have the pass, the special exclusive monthly pass, as well as it will do all 100 at a time if you wanted to as well. It will also sell. It will also have different criteria to sell, right? There's like an automatic button that says sell anything a 5-star or lower, right? Sell anything at this grade or lower. Another thing they have is restore energy automatically. Another thing they have is that continue the run even if I fail. Another thing they have is if a monster is max level, stop the run, right? So of course, if people want to use it to level up units and farm it. So they have a little bit more advanced details. Now, what do you guys think? So should this be something that we have, or what can we take from it, and what do we not want from these ideas that we've seen from Raid, right? We could talk about Skylanders as well, and whatever, E7 as well, if you familiar with E7 auto replay.
Well, first of all, the biggest argument there is: do you rather have 100 runs max a day, or would you rather have it nonstop every day? Right. So you gotta think about that. Raid Shadow Legends, you can't sell it. You can't do anything else. It's literally just sitting on your phone while watching that to happen. But this, we can do so much more. We're actually continuously playing the game. It's not just for the AFKers. Rather, it's you're able to do a lot of stuff. Like one thing I would do for sure is shop refreshes. You do shop refresh, which is huge.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the one thing that caught my eye right away, where I can be refreshing for scrolls. If you have a couple 100 million mana, it's very easy to burn them all off now, given you have the crystals.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think about shop refreshes. True. What did you like though, Lucky? If you could prefer, because I know you played some raid as well. You tried out raid as well.
Yeah.
Do you like the limited 100 a day better, and do you like the infinite?
I like the infinite because I feel like, well, it's infinite, but it's stepping, right? It takes steps. I think the issue with raid was because I bought the pass to try it out, and when I did the 100 runs, I literally just let it run, let my computer stay on. I stepped away out of the house, came back 2 hours later, and it's still running.
Yeah.
Because I think my dungeon runs were like 2 minutes long, and it just kept running. So I was like, sweet, I don't have to really worry about it. So
3 hours, bro.
Exactly, yeah. You can leave it running for so long, and you can just check everything at the end. And it allowed you to overfill your equipment, I believe it was, because it allowed you, if you had too much equipment, it just goes into your
inbox.
Was it into your gift box, or was that for monsters? Yeah, into your inbox. So you can collect it later. Yeah, exactly right. So you can collect it all later. You can tidy it all up. I think it was just way too disengaging for me, and that was my biggest concern with it, because I got a lot of equipment that I just had to end up going through one by one, figuring out what I wanted to keep, and I wasn't really too involved. Whereas with 10 runs at a time, I can still filter through 10 items worth of drops, or 10 runs worth of drops, and then pick what I want, see if I've made any improvements, see if there's anything I want to roll, and you can roll those drops during your next 10. And I think that's pretty cool, right? So
yeah,
it gives you that little time in between to be able to start doing things like that to see if you actually made any improvements or not. So yeah, definitely down the path of 10 rather than 100 in total.
Okay. How about you, DJ? What's your thoughts on this? Anything that we kind of discussed so far?
I think it would be kind of cool to have like some of the toggleable, like if you like it auto stops when you die, like if you could turn it off if you don't care.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm sure there'll be updates on stuff like that in the future. I like the selling idea, like auto sell. Like if I don't keep blues, just auto sell the blues. I think that's a cool idea.
I like that as well. Yeah, they can have some more of these customizable features, right?
Mhm.
But so I think we can see that the UI probably can have a lot more criteria moving forward for the auto runs from what Contus is saying. Maybe they'll have it as well, right? This is just a dev notes. Maybe they'll have it on the actual release. If whatever it says on the notice when they release it is going to be kind of the official what's going to be happening, but they can always add to it, as well as it would be nice to see if that the runs if they could just continue even if you failed, right? Now we have to keep in mind that this is different from any other auto runs out there. I can't recall any game currently right now, but there's a lot of games out there. Any auto that lets you do anything else but the auto replay. So this is definitely, we could say, maybe one of the first mobile games to do it, right? We might see other mobile games, follow as well after with this idea, right? Because anytime you can increase user engagement, it's worth it. So you're probably going to see Epic 7. You're probably going to see Raid Shadow Legends. You're probably going to see whatever other mobile games you guys play out there follow along with these auto runs, allowing you to do other stuff, which I think is really, really cool. Anything else we can add or suggest to it? Go ahead.
How do you feel if they made it where it's a daily pass 2 for you to be able to auto run 10 times unlimited amount every day? What if they did that? I'm not saying it's a good thing, but one thing though, it's the only thing I want from this is that you can check the box where if you fail, because at the way we farm right now, we're gonna no matter what have unlucky times, right? And that's kind of a waste of time anyways. Like a small checkbox like you guys mentioned is very easy to do. That's the only thing I request. Otherwise, I think the system is pretty fucking good so far.
Right.
Yeah,
in terms of being in a pack, I personally don't really like it being in a pack. But a VIP system, oh man, let's start it off being a VIP system, baby. Let's talk about that, right? What if they released a VIP system in Summoner's War, right? And they start everybody fresh. Imagine that, right? That means that if you start spending today as a free-to-play player, you could be VIP 100, which would be higher VIP than some of the whales out there currently, huh? Think about that. Yeah, okay, I'm just memeing, by the way. This idea is actually garbage. Yeah, please do not make a VIP thing, but that's my 2 cents. What do you think? Should they sell these in packs or not? Like the 10x runs, like how Raid does them, or should it just be free for everybody? What's your thoughts?
I think it should be free. I don't think it should be a mechanic that's introduced to the game to make it unfair. I think it's fine the way it is. I think the implementation that they've got set up, the way it's set up at the moment, I think it's promising. We'll have to just wait till it's out and see if it actually works.
Yeah. I agree with that. What I mean, the only other like kind of thought I had that would be interesting is if they wanted to really increase user engagement, which actually might suck for us, is it would have us do like daily like quests. You know what I mean? Like, you know how we have daily quests, weekly quests, and monthly quests, and having us do those dailies, we get the tickets, and then we get the tickets to auto farm at the end of the day, and there would be a limited amount per day per person, right? And that would not change a whole lot in the game. I thought that they were gonna kind of take that approach first, and then go with the full-on auto replay unlimited, like as a later on idea, like, hey, let's just scratch and move on, you know, just to kind of implement things. But what do you guys think if they did that? What do you think, DJ, if they did a daily thing, or would it feel too much like a chore?
It probably feel like a chore.
Yeah.
I kind of like what they're doing. At least it sounds pretty good.
Okay.
What if they introduce weekly dailies, like weekly quests? If you finish it, if they give it to us every Monday, it could be 3. You have to do 3 RTAs and everything. Once you clear it, it's super simple. You can clear it within an hour. Then you get the auto. Then automatically you raise also RTA. More people to play RTA, which is really wanted right now. 2 is also engagement that is going to be missing from the auto farming.
Yeah, I mean I think there's a way to kind of mix it in, but we also have to think of the downsides as well, right? People might just play the RTAs and just leave, right? Go and leave, because I don't care about RTA, right? Go and leave. 3, I'm done. And now I can do auto replay, right? But you're thinking like we set some kind of standard where they play the game, they do their missions, and then after that they have free reign on unlimited runs after. Is that what you're saying? Something like that? Like it unlocks until the end of the day or something. That would be interesting. That's new. I never thought about that.
Just engagement in general is what they want, right? All these games want you to play as long as possible. A weekly quest on Monday is not that bad. Like you can do on Tuesday, obviously, but it's when you start on Monday. And the thing is, I always thought of the RTA thing for something else, like a quest. Also in the daily, win 3 RTA matches. It gives you LD pieces or whatever, like something like worth getting, right? I think people would actually try and win 3 RTA matches every day.
Yeah. If it's actually win 3, then I think there would be some merit to it. But if it was just play, people would just leave, right? Win 3 might have some frustrations for people that can't win, right? Because people would be competitive or smurf on them. So, but there's definitely some you definitely get somewhere with that, right? That could be an idea.
Yeah, I thought about that for how they can raise the engagement, right? But if you're at the right elo, sooner or later, maybe the first couple of days you're not. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to win 3. All you need to do is just go and kill. Eventually, if you're at 900 rank like I am right now, you're bound to have another person that you can beat, right?
True, or you run into JMac in 900 rank.
Exactly. Yeah. I think personally, if they're going to introduce weekly or monthly quests, they got to stick it away from RTA. But what I'd like to see is maybe they make like a seasonal set of challenges for RTA. You know what I mean? So standalone challenges for RTA that give you specific rewards that relate to RTA. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
whereas
like stepping
your weekly
stones right
sort of
throughout
stuff
the
can give
time.
you
like an event.
Yeah, exactly right. They're like, so you do like play 10 matches, you get X item. Play 50 matches, you get another item. It could be auras, it could be like appearance effects, it could be
it could just be energy. People would do it.
Could be energy, yeah. It could be anything extra just for participating in RTA, but it stays in just RTA.
I like that. And you know what they could give? What do you think about this thought as a reward? The Guardian aura. So because think about it,
I get one.
when they first released it, Guardian Auras, they wanted to keep it to only Guardians because it's special, right? But at this point in time, in this day and age, the Guardian, that aura, that wing, or whatever it is, it's not that special anymore, right? So to give a player who's not able to really hit Guardian maybe ever, or maybe for a long time, that chance to play throughout the course of the event of the season and get those Guardian Auras or even Conqueror Auras, I think that would be valuable. Maybe just one, right?
Just give one.
Agree.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay,
agree
go
with
ahead.
Guardian. Conqueror's okay, but what's better is Nat 4 Devilmons.
We've always pushed for that. I think if they do that, that would be a winner. That would be 100%.
So many people will play. Auras, people will still think unfair because people have to reach a certain rank to get it, right? But Nat 4 Devilmons, any player would want that, including the whales or not, especially with new units always coming out, right?
Right. I mean, but the thing with the Guardian Aura is, the reason why I said Guardian Aura is because it's the Guardian Aura. I'm talking about the basic one. Remember the first one, right?
wing.
Not the skins, like not the RTA like transmogs for your characters. It's just the wing, that old first one that
The
they made,
lightning one.
right? The one that people collect. Some people have like 100 or 200 of them now. You know what I mean?
You mean the one that costs 500 points in the store?
Yeah,
you get
but
those.
you can't.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can't buy it because they're not Guardian, right? So if
They're
they
not
get
Guardian,
one,
yeah.
right? If they get one, I think it'd be an incentive. Like, hey, I'm fighter. I mean, I might not ever make it to Conqueror, or maybe I might be Conqueror, but hey, I get one of the Guardian Auras. It's kind of cool, right? Because it's not that special anymore. I mean, I don't really care anymore. Maybe when RTA first came out, I'd be like, oh, damn, look at that guy has Guardian Aura, right? But I don't even look anymore, bro. I'd be like, oh, does he have? Oh, he has the Guardian Aura. I see the lightning, I guess, but it's not that special, right?
And one thing that I was thinking about with like weekly or monthly challenges is that weekly challenges where they could probably introduce 4-star skill ups, and a monthly challenge or monthly set of challenges could be where they give out like an extra legendary scroll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you do all your monthly challenges, here's the legendary scroll. I mean, if you think about like what's happening in Raid, you get the ancient shard or whatever the legendary shard is if you do all monthly challenges.
Right.
You get an LD shard if you do your weekly challenges.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that's a pretty good system. What about if they brought something similar like that to Summoners, or having weekly challenges, but you get 4-star skill ups for weekly stuff, and then you get a legendary scroll for doing all your monthly.
Right. Another reward that could go into that, or the event thing that Jeff was talking about. What about a Devilmon that you can Devilmon whatever skill of the unit you want? One, and it comes once a month or maybe once a season, right? I don't think it would be that much. I know it's when it comes to Devilmon, I don't know why Comtois is so stingy on it, right? They're a little bit more like loose now with it, but they used to be so stingy. And whenever you say Devilmon, they're always like, huh, what do you want? What do you want, Devilmon for me? But what if it just skilled up whatever skill you wanted of a unit, right? It wouldn't even just be, it would be a premium Devilmon, I guess you can say, because it's a choice, right, on what skill. I think that would be worthwhile. It wouldn't be that much.
So a Super Devilmon.
Yeah,
I
Super
think that's
Devilmon.
probably fine. I think it's good as long as everybody has a chance to get it, no matter what rank you are, just something. But in general, I always think the game needs. I don't do dailies. I only summon 3 scrolls to get that LDE piece every day, and that's it. But they need to bring more dailies, and that's why before I said that they should bring Battle Pass. It could be $2, $3 or something, right? And use it to fund whatever in the game. They could fund SWC like how Dota does it or whatever. But there's so many things that they can do to not just only make money, but to make players play a lot more. And that's really important on a game that's 6 years old.
I think so, yeah. But the thing with that is they have to be careful with battle passes, because with battle passes, that's like the people go, oh, it's a whale game. You know what I mean? That's why you have to spend this amount. But if they go with the idea of what you're saying, where they take the proceeds from it and use it for something, that'd be big. And what I think is every year they do like a couple different charity donation things, right? If they one time in the year, I think if they make a battle pass, good value for the community, have people make their first purchase or even spend in the game for that battle pass, $5, $10, and all the proceeds go to a charity, I think that would be insane. And like I'd say almost everybody would buy it. So that would be pretty lit to see how much, people would spend and how much they could raise from that. That's a really good idea. I like that. Right? Yeah. Okay. Any more thoughts here? Pulling it back to the auto, replay. Any other thoughts that you guys wanted added in? Or
for the artifact dungeons, the artifacts have so many words that I don't really read them. I just kind of keep whatever's purple and then go through it later. But with the auto run, you can like look at them, right? Because it looks like they pop up one at a time on the little thing, so you can like go through it while it's running and like decide what you want. So I think that's pretty nice too, but that's a pretty small thing.
Yeah, little minute details, right? But it's quality of life. It makes your gameplay simpler every day, which is great. Really nice. Okay, looking forward to this update 6.0.4. We don't know when it's gonna drop. A lot of people speculate it's gonna be a week or it's gonna be soon, right? So, but we don't know. It's in dev notes, so we're unsure, but we know it's coming, right? Hopefully sometime this month. Hopefully sometime in the next week or so, and we'll see what it entails, and we'll continue to provide a lot of feedback and updates because I'm sure this initial release. There'll probably be some issues with. There'll probably be some things they can make better, but we'll continue to give them criticism and suggest things to improve this auto replay function that they're going to be including, which is interesting. All right, gonna move on to our other topics that we have here today. Gonna talk a little bit about SWC, right? Thoughts on the various matches so far. What did you enjoy? Which one did you enjoy watching? I think there was an Asia one that just happened as well. What did you like? Right, let's start off with DJ maybe. I know you just finished streaming some of the qualifiers there. What'd you enjoy?
Yes.
What'd you see?
C tournament. It was pretty standard Gany Hathor stuff. Yeah, it wasn't that fun. Like the Japan one was super fun because there was a bunch of people bringing all kinds of weird stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
they
nothing too
were.
crazy.
I think pretty much everyone in SDA had Gianna as well. I think it was
Yeah,
only like one
lots of
person
Gianna.
missing it. It was like
True.
pretty much
One or
everyone
two?
Gianna Hathor. It was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Didn't they just pre-ban as well? I mean, we saw some Hans, but it didn't really. It just didn't
think-
feel like they were in the best drafts. But there were some
I
Hans in
think
there.
Han lost every time.
Yeah, someone tried to evolution like Josh, but got quickly fucked up because that guy brought double immunity. That's the story on its own. Diligent tried to force Han a little too much. Diligent, one game didn't even pre-ban Gianna to I believe his Croms, which is super dumb.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty strong ban against him. He uses it quite a bit. So, yeah.
Gianna is going to be still the strongest tournament monster, so there's no way you're not pre-banning it and giving it to Croms when you personally have Gianna as well.
Hmm. Yeah, it's been shifting a lot more into like more Giannas, right? I mean, with the introductions of more Chiwus and that type of play style in play, Gianna owners and Gianna players, that style is a lot stronger now for sure. Yeah. Was there any matches you enjoyed, Lucky? I don't know if you were just watching it as well or you've seen any of them.
Now today's one was pretty boring, to be honest. It was pretty much. I felt like every fight looked very similar.
Mhm.
There was nothing like too different. Whereas, like as DJ mentioned before, the Japan one was very different, very engaging. I think I was missing all the breaks, but my biggest concern with like the Asia coverage so far has been like the big breaks in between each fight.
I hate
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what happened today. I kind of didn't watch it, but
Yeah,
like the
it's
7-minute
insane.
breaks between each fight is just, I don't know. I'm not really a fan of it. So like the American production's been really good
Yeah.
because it was really like it played really well, but the Asia production's just like really disengaging, having to take a big break between each fight.
Yeah, it's like 1 hour of gameplay and 2 hours of ads.
Yeah, you know what it
Pretty
feels like? You know what it feels like? It's when you're a little kid and your parents told you to read a book. I don't know if you guys had to do that before. And then you're supposed to read a book for an hour, and then you just tried to stretch your time as much as you could, just so you can meet that. However you had to do it. You know what I mean? Like just had to stretch. It feels like they just had to stretch it, to a certain time. They're like, oh, we must have a 2-hour, tournament. So we need to make sure we have, X amount of, breaks.
Hitting word counts and assignments back in university.
Oh yeah, I think that's a better example. Yeah. Changing the font in your word assignments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh man.
My biggest issue is nowhere near that. It's same as last year's. They let account buyers go into it. It's pretty bad. I'm not going to name people, but there are multiple accounts that were bought. It's so ridiculous to let them in. I feel bad for the people who actually own accounts that they've played for so many years. I think FCA is pretty shitty for that. It's a load of shit. I'd be pretty upset if they did that in America.
That's fair. I mean, I guess you have a little bit more information than I do or we do here, but I mean, I'd like to say that they've been trying to crack down on it more, but I mean, I guess if you're saying there's going to be, some of those players that are in there for those reasons, I think that's definitely very questionable. It's something that CompTIA should look more into, right? Especially because I know the tournaments are handled by different, divisions, you know what I mean? Like it's US team, does the information and, they take care of the US players, right? And whoever's in that server. And then C tournament takes care of that. So that would be something logistical, I would say, an issue in that region then. It's CompTIA would have to, put some criticism and some looking into, that region. So, yeah. For sure. Is it just the C tournament then, or do you have more knowledge in that? I mean, without naming any names, mostly, right, or what?
Well, so far the tournaments that has been going on, I don't know anything about
Right.
Japanese players. Otherwise, it looks okay so far. Wait a second, but isn't Skit a known account buyer as well? So I don't want to name names, but
Just
if I
stop
recall
saying
correctly,
names, then you stupid.
I don't want to
The
name names.
fucking says the name and it's. But that one is public though, because didn't he have some
That
kind of
one is
issue with
public.
the Korean community and like he did something, right?
Skit posted a video of him feeding his
Yes.
LD Nat 5s. That's why I mentioned his name.
Mhm.
I don't want to call anyone else out, but the Skit one is pretty obvious and everybody should know about it.
Yeah. But so he did that, but technically, I guess it's his own account, right? And some logistics, but yeah, you guys know about this nitty gritty stuff, man. You guys gotta keep me in the loop, man. I kind of want to know about this stuff too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I think CompTOS got to crack down a little bit. So hopefully, us talking about it here, right, gets somebody, because I know CompTOS watches this, gets somebody in the U.S. office, the Korea office, going like, yo, what the fuck, right? You know what I mean? And they figure it out. But we'll see what happens moving forward. Because I clearly remember, I know for the U.S. office, there was a couple players that, not going to give any names, that were continuously calling the CompTOS reps back over and over and over because they really wanted to get in because they were supposed to be in for SWC, but they didn't answer the calls for them because they figured that those accounts were bought. So they weren't allowed in the tournament for the America's Cup. And this was 2 years ago, right, when I was doing the commentating for the 2018. And they specifically... didn't allow those players in for at least the Americas. So I know that they were trying to do it more.
Put it this way, for the Southeast Asia one of the matches, the person that was fighting the other person was using that guy's previous out. Does that make sense?
No, you lost me. You're gonna have to.
Okay, so player A and player B, right? Player B was a SWC contestant every year. Player A used player B's out that he bought to fight player B.
Oh, what the fuck? Wait, what? Wait, what?
So, one of the accounts that had Gianna and all that stuff was some guy's out.
Oh, damn. Dude, J-Mac with the fucking info, man. Okay, shit.
Like, the thing is, it's very obvious because at that top level, there's not that many accounts with that many LDs, and it's pretty easy to trace.
Oh, that's true. I mean, because you're one of the players that are at the top as well, and you're playing, you guys are kind of used to talking about these top players, right? So you kind of know what is going, right? That's true. That's very true. That kind of reminds me of
like, if you
go ahead.
If you watch the ladder, even the account, like the Llama's old account, it's very obvious it's Llama because there's certain units that are on that account, right? So that's the reason why we know. But there are obviously better ways to check as well. But you already kind of know which account is which.
Right. True. That's very true. Yeah, I was gonna say as well. It kind of reminds me of that one time a couple years ago that my account got hacked, and a couple other people in my guild got hacked. In Delicious, which was currently like one of the top guilds in Asia, right? Literally the top guild in Asia. And the hacker was on one of our guildies' account. He had my account, he had my best friend's account, he had a couple other people's accounts, and he was on one of our guild members' accounts, typing to us in guild chat, and he's going, hey, can I get one of your guys' line chat? Because I'm going to give you guys back your accounts. I can't sell them. Like literally.
YD's account?
He didn't steal YD's account. No, he wasn't able to get YD's account. He was able to hack. He got my account, 7chosen17's account, and a couple of the guildies. He gave it all back. He gave it to my buddy, and he actually was talking to me. I was trying to get him to do a video with me, but he didn't want to, get into it on how he did it. That's what I was going to make a video on. So, yeah. So he literally gave me my account back, and he said, can't sell it. Because I guess nobody's going to really buy it then if everybody kind of knows, right? It's a high-profile account.
Well,
so that goes hand in hand with what we're saying.
Shit. I was kidding.
What's that?
It's not worth the effort.
I know.
$7,
$80 and I'll probably get charged back. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just give it back to him.
This fucking guy. All right. Anyways, any other thoughts about SWC? I'm pretty excited for all these other, cups coming up, right? EU cups coming up real soon as well, and qualifiers, and then we're getting to the cups coming up next month as well, right? I know if you guys don't know, congratulations, JMac, making it through. Very excited to see you represent. I mean, yeah.
It's been 4 years, right? Finally made it out of prelims.
I know. Finally, actually get good. You actually got good, huh?
Very good. I did come back from the bottom. I would say I had some pretty decent matches. I enjoyed playing in it so far, and I hope to see how far I get to go.
Yeah, rooting for you, man. Definitely rooting for you. I mean, I've seen you. I mean, I've hung out with you so many times in the last couple of years and seen you progress quite a bit in RTAs. I always still tell people the same thing. The moment that I feel that your light like popped in terms of like RTAs was the moment the Martina got nerfed. Because I still remember you doing a lot of RTAs when Martina got nerfed, and as soon as it got nerfed, I think people were calling you out and going, this JMac guy, the only reason he could do RTAs was because of fucking Martina. And then JMac's like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna do RTAs, and I'm gonna show you I can do RTAs without Martina. And then that's the moment I remember that you actually like cared a lot about it, and you made it happen. So it's crazy to see you progressing.
Yeah.
The results show.
I do believe that I'm a better player, and not just that. I spent a lot of time back then. I was able to bully with runes where I'm faster, more efficient in general. But now everybody's top set has caught up, right? So you really need to learn how to play not just turn one, turn two, and understanding attack bar and where you slot each unit. And I think I improved a lot based off of that and learned a lot through playing with my friends, and especially before this, I streamed 100 days in a row. I spent every single stream playing RTA. I just forced myself to play before the
30 wings a day for how long?
I did it for
like the whole season.
I think I did 100. Okay, so before the 100-day stream in a row, I did basically every wing. I did 1,100 wings. The season after it, I did a 100-day stream challenge where I did minimum 30 wings a day, and that improved my play by quite a bit.
That's crazy, dude. I mean, I still remember Discord, you, me, and Roger, which, I mean, Roger's not playing anymore, but, I mean, we just chill, man. Those are late night streams, man. You just doing wings. It's crazy. That's very crazy. But yeah, hopefully you do well, man. Hopefully you do well. We're rooting for you. All right.
Thank you.
Some good discussions there on SWC. We're going to kind of move on here to one of our last topics here. It's going to be about quality of life and buffs and nerfs, right? Question 3 and 4. Whatever you like to suggest. Is there things in the game that still kind of bug you? Things in the games that you want to see, upgraded or enhanced or changed? Right, let's talk a little bit about it. I know we touched a little bit about it on on the podcast on Tuesday, getting a little bit more thoughts on the grind and gem thing that DJ and Faraz was talking about last time. So we could talk about whatever quality of life stuff, buffs and nerfs for units. Feel free to throw it out. Kind of like an open discussion last topic that we got going on here. Go ahead.
I want to sort monster storage by monster type. Because you can do it outside of storage, but you can't do it in the storage.
Fair. Something new that they should add for sure. Yep. Definitely. I like that. That's a good suggestion. That's an easy one too. That's a super easy one for them to do. Yeah. Inside the storage. Okay. What were your thoughts on the response to the podcast on Tuesday? Did it kind of change your minds on it, or are you still, with it?
I still think that grinds is the biggest wall in the game now for new to mid game players. And mine, it was just a suggestion on one way they can make it easier for players, and I think there's probably a better way to do it. But it also feels really bad when you buy a legendary grind and it rolls 5.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. Like if I spend $300 chasing a HP percent immemorial grind and then it rolls 5, it feels terrible. I probably don't buy it anymore.
Right. So the biggest argument that they had on Tuesday was they, Make It a Bud, Chris and Tyler were saying they don't want to change the logistics of the game, right? The way that we power up right now and the way it rolls right now, should it be changed? And I kind of, they kind of swayed me on. It makes sense. But I think maybe a better suggestion that we can give them, DJ, is maybe more ways that we can get more grinds, right? Because if we can get more usable grinds, it should enhance our overall average of, players' accounts being able to have those grinds, hit what they want to hit. If we could get more of them. Right, and that doesn't change the logistics of anything and devalue any previous things in the past that players have, invested time and money on. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think another thing is that it seemed like their standard was 7%, and then it was done, which for me is not. It needs to be above 7 for me to be done.
For some
which
runes,
means
right,
I need,
or no?
For pretty much anything that I use, I want above 7. Like everything's already 7 right now.
So you're trying to slap a legend on every single one then, right?
So yeah, I'm just looking for legends. That's it.
Right, and you get the legends, you get like 10, and then like 2
5%.
of them go like 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it feels very demoralizing.
It does. What's your thoughts on that, Lucky? On the grind and gem situation?
I I personally feel like it's okay. I think
Okay. Sure. Go ahead.
I think there's already enough avenues to get it, because there's like, if people actually invest in Labyrinth, I think you get decent rewards there if you do Hell mode. A lot of people undervalue it, but like a lot of my gems come from doing Labyrinth content right now, and that's because I find gems like impossible to find. You could do like BJ5 for a whole day and not walk away with a single gem that's usable. Whereas, you know, you can. I feel like every second day that I do lab, I'm walking away with a gem that I could potentially use on something. And I feel like there's a lot of places already that you can get the resources. And I think the fact that they haven't touched BJ5 is telling me that they're okay with people having a 28-second 100% team to do R5. And I think now they've made it easier for people to actually break into it by making artifacts a thing. So now you can you can start in like B10s, go to artifacts, get a BJ5 team built, circle back to doing doing B12s, and then you can kind of cover off all the PvE areas of the game. So I think they made it very easy to be able to do BJ5.
Yeah.
So I think the resources are there if you're willing to put the effort in. I just think gems are really hard to come by. Yeah. And the saddest moment is when you roll a gem and it rolls low.
Yeah, 7.
They're just so hard to come by. Yeah, exactly.
True. So you agree that the feel is really bad though when it rolls low, right? After investing all that time into
definitely.
Right.
That's my biggest issue. Is it feels bad, and I don't want to feel bad playing the game.
That's true. What's your thoughts on it, Jeff?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you don't want to feel bad playing the game. You shouldn't play this game at all. No, but anyways,
I mean that's true.
Jokes aside, grinds and gems, as people know as well, if they like watch my stream or talk to me a bit, I lived in R5 for the last year, right? And it does feel like shit when your legends don't hit. I've had one rune that was at 28 speed. It could have been 29. I threw 11 in before it hit.
Whoa.
11 grinds. I had to keep a record because it was so ridiculous. One thing I suggested to Compass a while back is a pity system. I think no whales would complain. Nobody would complain. Where, let's say for speed, if you roll 3 or 4 in, maybe it has to be a set number. So it can be any number they want. It could be 10, it could be 5, but a PD system. So every time you roll a purple, if it rolls 4, maybe after 2, it rolls 5 minimum, or 6, 7. Eventually you'll hit it. Same with gems, right? Gems, it sucks to hit a 7. I threw 4 legend gems the day before SWC trying to chase one, and I had to throw in memorials just to hit it. And it's something that I don't want, right? It will also help for the people getting ancient right now. You know how shitty it feels when your ancient legends don't hit. You're not seeing that thing in these 2-3 months. So why not offer a pity system? It doesn't because for people like me, my top, I would say 20 pages of runes are basically fully grinded and gemmed out, right? You can see other people improve as well who don't spend as much on immemorial packs and whatnot. But right now, I am actually sitting out of R5 and I'm only buying immemorials to catch up the certain couple runes that I need to work on. But a pity system would be really nice. I think it helps everybody in game.
Yeah, so when we talk about pities and we hear the word pity, there's always a negative connotation that comes out, right? Because there's a lot of bad things that happened in the past with pities in a lot of games that I think Comptuous is trying to avoid pity. And I guess this argument of a pity or asking for a pity, Chris and Tyler and a couple other people argued that hey, if they do a pity system, this will really devalue and change the way that the game has been flowing so far. So I'm actually going to be kind of against you on that one a little bit, Jeff, in terms of a pity. I think what will be a better fix, though, is make it so that we can craft, right? Give us an extra resource when we farm raids every run. No matter what grind or mana or whatever you get, there's an extra resource. And we can craft an extra grind of our choice, right? And we're able to get more grinds, right? If there's a way we can get more grinds and more gems, I think that'll solve the issue without having to go the pity route. Just give people more of it, and then they don't have to get the pity. Right? Even though you miss, at least you can get it easily. Right now, it's because you miss and they're hard to get. Right? So if we eliminate one of those, I think that we would have a better result. What do you guys think about it?
I think we need something.
Yeah, true.
Grinds is rough right now.
Yeah.
like for a long time. Like Jeff said, he was R5ing all day for a year. That's a lot. Like that's a
It's a
huge
lot.
wall for a lot of players to overcome.
Bro, I literally, every time I hung out with Jeff, we walked around. The man's like a fucking like walking laptop, bro. He's got like 5 phones and his iPad. He's fucking doing raids, right? He's logged in like he's doing like a couple accounts at one time just to do a raid dungeon. He's like walking around as we're doing stuff. It's crazy, dude. Raiding 24/7, dude.
It's just because the R5 versus farming runes in general. You're gonna gain that much more, but with the least amount time spent, right? You're gaining way more versus getting 1 rune than you need grinds for it anyways.
True.
Runes, like for I think high G3 players or even G2 people, they're spending money on re-apps. They're spending money on rune packs sometimes. Usually, like this special packs that come, there's always runes now, and we're just waiting for the right rune to re-app, which has the right innate. I'm at the level where rune farming isn't that important. That's why I was saying B12 is going to help a lot of people to close the, I guess, Conquer and Guardian wall. It's going to be huge, right? For me right now, it's just grinds and artifacts. Artifacts are going to give me by far the most gain for time.
Right. Those are you're naked. All your units are naked. So and when you fill them right now, you probably run in around like blue plus quality, right? A majority of them. I'd be very surprised if you got high purples on all of them, but I mean blue plus,
no,
maybe purple. Yeah.
Blue max blues are sick right now.
They're
did luckily roll a quad already, so it's really nice.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a bunch of triples, so I'm excited to use them as well. But artifacts is going to be the new R5 basically for people who already have some grinds and gems, and I think it's going to be huge. It's going to, for the next year, everybody's going to sit in artifacts.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So kind of going off what we said as well, I mean, I really firmly believe that the best way Comptuous has to approach this grind and gem issue, which will, slowly rise up more and more, is the fact that they need to give us more ways to get it, right? A suggestion I saw in chat by Drywater was, we have lab every 2 weeks right now. Maybe they can, do it every week. People are already doing it, right? And if you care about it, that would be something of interest, right? Some more rewards for free for people that actually play the game, right? If you want to be engaged and you want to progress. What are your thoughts?
They could give the other bosses a memorial on the first one too.
Oh,
they
true.
could do that.
Yeah, true. I don't know about both though. One every week.
It doesn't have to. It can be like a purple, max purple.
Yeah.
The little bosses don't have to give you the legendary one.
All right.
Yeah. And why punish guilds that finish lab early? Why not just leave the whole map clear for the rest of the week? So you got 5 lanterns to use every day. Instead of closing lab, just let us use 5 attacks every day and still get rewards for it.
Wait, can't you still attack? Oh, well, I guess when you can still
when
attack
you clear the
clear,
entire
right?
map, you can't.
Yeah, true.
So what about just let us keep fighting it?
Also, give us like in memorials in like any type of content. Literally, it can be dropped in fucking TOA. Like,
oh yeah,
it doesn't hurt anyone. Like, I think TOA needs to be revised. Or if you guys really want to push people to do RTA, you can also throw a little something like small in there as well, like twice a week or something, and it will cost minimal, which is kind of nice, I think.
Oh, you know that rune box from the guild shop?
Yeah.
They should make a immemorial one.
Yeah, something like that would be really good for the game.
Fair. Yeah, I like that.
Because it's still random whatever you get out of the box. But it's another way to get something.
I mean, I think we could sit here and come up with a bunch of ideas that would be really good. Hopefully we can, convey it to them and they can figure out something. But I think the best way to fix it, I mean, I hate to say it, they've been giving us a lot, right? They've been giving us more and more. This year is probably the biggest year in terms of events and like crazy stuff happening, in my personal opinion, right? With the loss of live events for meetups and SWC, this year has been absolutely nuts. 6-year anniversary. We got the Shift update, we got the Street Fighter collab, and then now we just have some online SWC. There's a lot going on this year, right? There's a lot that they've been doing, but I would like more.
For sure. As a competing and aggressive company with new games like RSL and stuff, they really need to up the game, right? And that's really good. Competition's really good. And this year, they've for sure done it. The Rune event for 6-year is absolutely nuts. Although none of my runes rolled well,
nuts.
But it was an insane event.
Yeah, the chance, right? The chance is insane. And for most players, they keep that rune. Even if it rolls garbage, this becomes one of their medium or best runes, honestly.
it's going to be minimum max perp over anyone, right? So there's no way you're not keeping that rune unless you chose one with resistance,
Right.
which or flat, where I saw some people do. But oh yeah, sorry, I forgot when we mentioned earlier, like
Go ahead.
battle pass or whatever.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying that what if the SWC scrolls that they do goes towards the tournament or funding the tournaments and live events. I think those are all really good, and yeah, so that's what I feel. And also, I think they need to bring back. I don't know if you guys remember the Emerald Dragon, where we had at live events.
I remember that.
They need to like at least sell a pack or something that's really cheap for people to get something like that, just to show that you participated or watched in SWC.
You know what? That's a good idea. They should, the idea of Emerald Dragon was a code that they gave out in the first SWC. That's how you have Emerald Dragon. It's exclusive, right? You just have to be at the event. They could give out a free one as a code for the finals for this year's SWC. If you're listening in, come to us. I think that'd be cool, right? Get people to get hyped to watch the event and hear about it, right? Even if obviously people are just going to share the code and a lot of people are going to get it, but everybody knows that the finals is happening and people will come and watch it. I would like that, right? Like you got to be here and in the that time frame, that time frame of the event. If you get the code and you redeemed it while the tournament was going on, you get the mount, right? That's sick. Cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, something like that. There's so much they can do, right? Like I talk about a lot. I talk a lot about like spending money or whatnot, but it can be $5, right? And battle pass that I mentioned. I think I heard E7. You can buy with crystals, right?
Yes.
Which are in-game stuff.
Yes.
Do something like that too. It doesn't matter if you're copying them. If it's a good idea, it's not the worst case. It helps everybody. The main thing is it makes people play the game more, and that's what we need right now for a game that's going to 7 years, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the E7 does a battle pass that you use Sky Stones, your in-game currency. So, yeah, I can see that being a viable thing. Something that they can buy a battle pass in Summoners War with crystals, right? Because as free to play, you get several thousand a month for free. So it makes it, purchasable, or also, just people who have the crystals. I think that's a good idea. And they could just put exclusive stuff, a little bit of resources in there, similar to what they already give us in the events, right? Like this Street Fighter event, like how much million manas and crap that we get, dude. It's kind of ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's a lot.
If you add it all up, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Another thing is if they do want to like make more money, obviously as a company they should start selling more cosmetic stuff, entrance effects and all that shit. You can make it pay to win. It doesn't affect any gameplay at all, right? And it makes people who play RTA enjoy having shit to show off, right?
Right.
I want building skins.
You want more
there's
of those?
There's that Christmas one for the tower. I want other buildings to have skins too. Or even the summoning stone, like change the lightning color.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Change the look of the stone.
Cool.
There is a lot that they could do. We've also asked for a island manager before too, right? So that you can easily purchase the bush and just put it wherever you want, and you can buy like 10 bushes, right? You don't have to do one by one by one like that, right? So you can just do it all one time, like an island manager. That would be big. I think that'd be big. There's a lot of artists out there that would love to do that. Yeah.
We're gonna have the next collab, Animal Crossing crossover with Summoner's War.
Sure, I'd love to be able to go fishing.
Summon, what's that thing called? Nook?
Yeah. True. Very true. Yeah, some great suggestions, honestly. Yeah, I think come to us. I mean, there's a lot more they can do. I mean, they've been giving us a lot, but keep at it. And I think maybe changing what they give us is good, right? Right now they're giving us a lot of these resources, but because the issue that we keep bringing up is grinds and gems, right? Maybe more events and more rewards with more grinds and gems. Granted, we got a couple of immemorials in this one, which was nice. More of that, right? Ease us with the more grinds and gems, and I think that will be the fix for the issues of people that are using grinds and gems and not hitting. Unfortunately, that's what, in my opinion, the best thing that they can do. Right?
I mean, there's small areas of the game they can fix to do that as well, like siege boxes, world boss.
True. World boss.
Those sort of areas. I mean, just imagine like siege boxes. They got rid of half the shitty 3-4 star rooms that you get in there, and you can get immemorials or grinds and gems. Like, how much better would that be?
That would be way better.
I'd take a blue immemorial grind over it.
Didn't they say that a world boss was coming out like 4 years ago, like a new one?
Another one. Different element.
Get that thing already? Like,
I know, right?
You can literally release a new box. That's the perfect timing to release like what it drops, right? Honestly, and Guild Siege box are still absolute trash. They need to fix that as well.
Yeah,
So there's so much they can do with that stuff.
they have a couple avenues right now that they can actually approach, fix. They get good PR for it, good rep for it, and it fixes a lot of problems all in one. So I think it's great, right? So, but I will say though, every year there's supposed to be one big update at the end of the year. So I'm kind of concerned though, because this year all this stuff has been like kind of big stuff, right? Like what the fuck is gonna be at the end of the year? Like I thought maybe auto replay
Sure.
was gonna be end of the year, but it's now. What are you going to release end of the year if this is your stuff, man? Like what could it be?
Don't
So
they have
there's
that?
No,
Yeah.
but that's a separate game, dude. That's nothing to do with this Summoners War though. Oh
Like
no, man.
honestly, yeah, I don't know how they're gonna top themselves. This year was
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. I think they changed a lot of the game. Artifacts, I feel that is gonna push the game to have at least 2 more years of shelf life. One big thing is they might have to remaster the game soon, where power up fucking runes don't take fucking forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they quicker. Yeah.
So many things they should do. Redo arena, so rush hour is fun again. I really miss the good old days where I used to rush. I rushed every single weekend until I got legend. I still remember that. It was a big part of the game for me. So there's so much they need to refresh, and I think now is the time because we're going on to 7 years, and there's gonna be a bigger game eventually that's taking over.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like one thing I would love to have come to us do, I'm gonna actually start mentioning this. I'm mentioning this a little bit more often in the podcast because I know they watch. Is I would love it if Comtuous would give us the community from the podcast and what we have here the ability to give them direct suggestions and or questions that they will answer, because once in a while, like the shift, they really kind of answered a lot of questions and concerns of the community, right? They talked about auto replay and stuff like that. I would love if they gave us an opportunity as a podcast to come up with some stuff and in the future, lay it down and send it to them so that they can, answer it themselves. I think that would be a big ask that I think would be nice, right? Whether, they can at least respond to it, their thoughts on it, if this would happen, if it's a good idea, why it's not, right? I think that's a big thing. Sometimes as a gamer, as a streamer, as a consumer, we see one view, right? But as a company, they see a different view. And oftentimes I've listened to some of the reasons why they don't do certain stuff, and it makes sense. You know what I mean? It kind of makes sense, right? Some stuff doesn't make sense, but some stuff does make sense. And hearing from them, I think would be nice. It would be really, really nice. So
They said at the end that they wanted to do stuff like that more often, right?
yes, they did.
So that would be awesome.
Yeah, last time we were kind of limited though, because like they let one region's content creator ask a question because it had to be translated, right? So it was a little bit difficult. But I think if they do more stuff like that, it only could do good, because the closer that we can get to Comtuous and the closer they are to the community, which I know they care about the community. No matter what people meme, no matter what people say, I can tell right now they actually care about the community, and they've started valuing it a lot from the beginning, from when I started working with them to now. It's been something that they've actively tried to change, I think a lot of other companies are seeing that as well, like E7 and stuff like that, that their game no longer just thrives with a good game. Your game thrives with the community, having community managers and being close with your community. That's the only way your mobile game is going to thrive. So
Yep. Well, the game can be replaced, right? All of us can completely switch to another game and start a new community. Summoners War is nothing without its community, and that's what I feel, especially with Twitch. So at this time, they really need to work with, I'm not saying us, but in general, everybody, because sooner or later you are gonna not be at the top, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I hope they listen to us and we can continue this game. Like, a lot of us have so much time invested into it, and we enjoy the game, right? But sooner or later, it has to come down. So how they need to be aggressive to compete with the newer games, because the other games are being super aggressive and taking a page out of Comtuous's book as well.
yeah, Comtuous is like the starting gotcha. Like they all just try to copy Comtuous. They watch what they do and they try to develop. Yeah, they even hire people that work at Comtuous to work at their companies. There's been a lot of people that have been poached, I'll tell you that. So it's very interesting to see. So hopefully they do, listen to us, right? In my definition, listening means listening. It's just that. It doesn't mean you do what we say, right? But you listen, right? That's the main thing, right? Listen and respond. And if they can do that, I think that it's gonna be great. Is there any last things you wanted to add, DJ and Lucky? Well, kind of covered it all here.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
We covered everything already. Yeah.
All right, cool. I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. We covered some really good topics, ranging from, of course, the auto replay. Hopefully that comes out soon. Talking about SWC, and then some open discussions. You know, just improvements in the game and what we want to see to make the game better. I think we had some very, very healthy conversations and discussions today. Some disagreements here and there, which is great. So we'll continue doing this and continue improving the game every day. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys leave those comments down below. I check them all. I read them all. Yeah, it's been great reading those comments down below, as well as seeing some of you guys' suggestions, what you guys want to see talked about, what do you guys want to see, seen in the game, right, and discussed. So hopefully you guys continue to do that. Leave that like, hit the subscribe, as well as we're going to put the links to all of their channels down below. Everybody here streams quite a bit. Maybe J-Mac will have a little bit of time off for the next couple of days, though, since he's gone, but he'll be back to streaming. DJ streams like every day. Lucky streams like every day as well. So come in, give us your suggestions, right? And we'll see you guys in the next live stream or podcast. Peace out, YouTube.
Yep. Thanks for having us. As usual.
Yep.
Enjoyed it. But
Catch you guys later.
It's not streaming that much in general because of SWC, but I have a 5-week break right now, so I'm gonna stream a bit and just talk about like how I feel about SWC so far.
Please do. Yeah, please do. I like to hang out on those. I've been hanging out in some of your streams lately for like summons and like I guess Riona was streaming as well, doing some reaps and stuff because you guys are always hanging out, right? It's fun.
She hit 20. Riona hit a 23 quad slot 5 for me on my reaps.
Oh damn! Yeah, I was watching her do dragons one the other night.
Like the day before SWC, and I actually was able to use that rune.
Wow, clutch, baby.
It was really nice. So
that's a $200,000 rune right there. Who knows?
Maybe, but quad for 23 kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's true.
But it was nice.
True. All right, see you guys later. Thank you guys for joining in.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks. See ya.